All right. Hey, how you doing? It's Erick from AHA, Americans Helping Americans, and AMP Live, the American Mentee Program, coming to you here live in beautiful Southern California. Hope you're doing well. Today we have Saturday training, Saturday live training. What are we going to get into? Well, we're going to get into some of these things. I got my notes here. I usually had some notes and an overview of what we're going to talk about. Some public service announcements. Definitely like, love, and share. Appreciate it. I know people watch these videos. Oops, I'm going to put that up. There we go. We got this thing going down here. So that's the other part of the camera. So what are we here for? Saturday training. We're going to talk about stuff that's been going on throughout the United States of America, conversations that I've been having with newbies, seasoned investors, buyers, sellers, you name it. It's creative real estate investing in general, as well as agents and brokers and how they're adapting to the business. Because things are shifting a little bit. They're adjusting, adapting. I say, let's rock and roll so you don't perish in this business. A lot of newbies, some seasoned people as well. You know, everybody's kind of going and trying to figure out, hey, is this the rebirth of what we need to do? People are kind of still digesting themselves from the Chinese virus, the COVID thing, right? And going, man, they had all that freedom. They had time to think. They had time to go, hey, man, do I want to, be an entrepreneur? Do I want to go after my dreams and my passions? Or, hey, at the end of the day, right, everybody's got to do their thing. So in summer, just had to go back, said, no, you know what, this is it's harder than I thought, right? Because the entry point is, it's easy, but it isn't easy. It's easy when you have a process and systems and you do your research like anything else, right? People just don't do research as much anymore. So I find a lot that when I'm talking to, like, hey, do you understand, know how to do it? Well, I'm not going to get into that right now. What I do want to do is the public service announcement. We do have something very special for you. It's new. It's a new opportunity for you. And we're going to talk about that as well later on. We'll have an opportunity to. So make sure you like, love, and share this. Watch the video all the way through to grab those pro tips, those awesome juicy nuggets that you can take into your business and into the field today, now, and see them work. I'm going to share some properties that are kind of like in distress, a little bit of surfing for deals, a little bit of underwriting. Underwriting is a weird word too, right? But I'm going to talk a little bit about that as well. We're going to talk about the type of deals that are being hunted out there. I always like to use the word hunted. It is what it is, hunting, fishing, whatever. We're all going for deals depending on what type of rig you have, what type of system you have, what type of verticals of marketing you put together. Are you going with elbow grease? Are you actually paying pay-per-click and Facebook and spending $1 to tens of thousands of dollars to go after these leads? I'm going to keep it simple, right? I'm going to keep it within the art of the deal, the AMP Live method. That's high trust selling, direct selling. We wrap them together. I call it the AMP Live method. I call it the AMP Live method because that's what we do, right? Everybody has their way of doing business. McDonald's serves up a burger the way they have a burger, and that's it, right? That is their claim to fame. That is their proprietary information, because you could try to make a McDonald's burger. It may come out and kind of taste like it, but not 100%. It's always the same thing, right? Burger King has their style. Even if we go with the steak, we can go to, let's see, where's some awesome steak places. They got in here in Southern California, they got like Pinnacle Peaks. That's a barbecue style. You can go to a high-end place that they have here in Beverly Hills, Hollywood, or anywhere else, and you buy their steak and it tastes a certain way, right? Some throw tons of butter on it, right? Others barbecue that sucker. Others have a certain flavor, or depending on where they get their meat and how it's processed and all that good stuff, right? So they all got their claim to fame or proprietary way to serve up their product. The same thing here. Everything is a product. Houses are products, right? Yes, they have emotional ties to them. So you have to, tread lightly with certain things. At the end of the day, it's just being professional. It's about being better than the rest. It's about becoming an expert and then sharing that expert advice and expert process with others, sellers that need it, buyers, investors. And then, yes, there's some newbies that need the help. Some want free, some are willing to pay. Some think they can get it all done because they maybe have a degree and they think they're smarter than others, or others don't have a degree and they're stubborn and they don't want to, pay, or they don't want to, they want something for free. All right. It's just human nature. What's in it for me? What's in it for me? What's in it for me? I can tell you right now, what's in it for me for doing these posts, for going live. One, it's giving back, right? And as far as sharing, right? And my cause and mission and our cause and mission is just that. I got to type in my rock and roll in here. Then if you want a link and you want to show your mug on here, definitely put it in the chat and I'll send you a link. I'm going to be back at 6 p.m. So if you miss anything, or you're like, hey, I'm driving, I got to do some other stuff or whatever, then that's fine too. So the training I want to share today is kind of just what's going on in the market, right? At the end of the day, yeah. What we got here? Okay, rock and roll, cool. I put it on the side here. All right, so this is cool. So I'm going to be controlling this stuff, going to show you some slides, and then we're going to talk about creative real estate. Now, real estate in general is real estate. If you're new and you haven't seen this, or you don't even know who the hell I am, or you know who I am, know what I do, know what AHA is about, Amp Live is about, awesome. If not, that's okay. I'm not going to get into a long history of all that good stuff. All I can share with you today is some Saturday training to hopefully help you kind of get a grip on where you're at and where you're going based on what I'm going to share with you today. And that's basically getting all the marbles out of your mouth when you're talking to sellers, vetting buyers and investors, right? Because you should be vetting them. If you're not, you're going to find out later on. Maybe it's 6 months, maybe it's a year, maybe it's 2 years, maybe it's like the guy in Missouri, 8 years. I've never had anybody have me sign an NC and D. Well, you're going to sign one today or I ain't going to work with you, plain and simple, right? It is what it is. You have your policies and procedures and you stick to them, because if you break them for one person, you have to break them for everybody. So anytime I break a policy and procedure and we talk about it with others and they go, okay, cool, let's do it. Then we do it for everybody. Then we kind of map it out, right? So, but I like to go when I'm doing this stuff, right? Going live. This helps out the algorithms. So I'm going back to what's in it for me, right? What's in it for me here with you. If you watch this one, I'm going to share knowledge with you. So, hey, that's awesome, right? I wish somebody was able to do that for me. And I know I'm not the type to watch tons and thousands of videos. I just can't do that. But if I had to and I made a commitment, yeah, I'd watch every freaking video and I watch it over and over and over and over to bring all the juicy nuggets out of what that person was sharing, and then figure out how to reverse engineer it and put it into the open market and put it into my business, right? Now, Russell Brunson does that with reverse engineering. I started doing that a long time ago. I'm not saying I'm the originator, but it's from Sam Walton. Sam Walton owned the Walmart stores, right? And he would go into other stores throughout the United States and UK, Japan, China, wherever he can go, and he'd see something and go, man, I like that. They're doing a great job. I'm going to put that in my stores. Or he liked it, but it wasn't doing very good and it looked like shit and it just wasn't performing, but he liked the idea. So you go, man, I'm going to do that better over here in my business, in my stores, right? In my Walmart stores and then super centers. And then they kind of turned into like giant malls in the Midwest, right? And they shut down Sears. They shut down all these Dillards or whatnot. Yeah, I think so. A bunch of all those like department stores, Montgomery Ward. Some of these may be too young. You probably don't even know what they are. And they had some crazy ones. I can't remember. There's a bunch of them out there, right? And they just got shut down. The reason they got shut down is because they thought this guy was crazy building these stores 150 to 250 square foot. You know, like what the hell? That's like a little mini mall. And then, you know, putting them in the middle of nowhere in the sticks, right? Where people, who's going to go to those stores, right? It's too big, right? In the Midwest, you got a town of 15,000, 20,000, 30,000, then metro areas, right? They thought he was crazy. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about those guys. And then all of a sudden, they blew up and destroyed everybody. Then the cities started coming down. No, don't let Walmarts into your area because they'll destroy all the mom and pop stores. Now, that's just natural evolution, right? You know, survival. So you're going to either survive or you're not going to survive. You're either going to beat them on customer service or you're going to beat them on price. And obviously, you couldn't beat them on price because they had volume. And the crazy thing is kind of like Amazon, right? Amazon does not produce products. You know, Amazon probably took a couple of ideas from Walmart because Walmart doesn't produce products either, right? They just resell shit. They get it at an awesome price because they push so much freaking volume that they can nickel and dime these Johnson & Johnson and all these big brands and stuff from China and other countries to say, no, you want it on our shelves, this is the price, or go fuck off, right? It is what it is. Excuse my French, right? And then if they didn't, they say, no problem. We'll just rebrand it and have our own brand, the Sam's brand, the Walmart brand, whatever the hell the brands were, those generic ones, right? Because it's the same product with a different box. No big deal. We'll just take your stuff off the shelf. We'll put our shit there and good luck. We do that to all these stores across the United States of America and different countries. They're going to have a hard time, right? Their stock is going to drop. Their investors are going to get pissed, and they know the jam. It's negotiating, right? So the same thing happens with everything. rather whether it's real estate, whether it's cars, whether it's this business software, whatever. And and the reason why they were able to do that was automation. Sam Walton, I'm going and giving you a big old. And what does this have to do with real estate? What it has to do with real estate is, one, if you're up against the wall and you're trying to figure out this business, one, you need to learn to understand how to underwrite deals. Some people go, underwrite. Oh yeah, I don't know how to underwrite. I do know how to do that. I heard something I haven't heard in like 10 years. Oh, I'm working on getting my mayo. Well, mayonnaise for your sandwich and your burger? What the hell, mayo? Yeah, my maximum allowed offer. I go, damn, I haven't heard that in years, right? But I say probably old shit too. And they probably go, what are you talking about? Cattle call? What does that even mean, right? I'm not going to a cattle call. Now, mixing this all up, and I'm going to come back, so I share this stuff, right? So when I was talking, when they mentioned the mayo, the M maximum allowed offer, okay, what is my maximum allowed offer? I'm going to plug it into some software, and it pops out. You know what? You should have a spreadsheet where, hey, if you're not that good at math, or you're good at math, and cool, pop it all in. But, you know, if you got to use your toes and your fingers, right, then that's the way it should be. It shouldn't be that easy, but yet I get it. Yeah, you want to push volume. Then you got AI. They can plug in all this crazy shit, right? You got technology. And that's why Walmart and Sam Walton won the game. But it was, you know, things just didn't happen overnight. We're talking years and years and decades and decades and decades. That shit started off as Walton's Five and Dime. It actually started off from the Ben Franklin fucking stores. And then he got tired of the franchise shit, but he learned that franchises have processes and systems, okay? Processes and systems work. So let me go ahead and do this so you can see my mug when I'm sharing this stuff with you. Let's go here. There we go. Little piece of the pie of the AHA, Americans Helping Americans. This will be our commercial, right? Americans Helping Americans, true one-on-one mentoring, one American at a time, one property at a time, one family at a time, doing our part to get America back on track together with you and others across the United States of America. The only true one-on-one mentoring program of its kind on the planet. I guarantee it, because nobody does what we do, because nobody wants to. This is new. It is a new opportunity for you to take advantage of this. I know, and we know what's out there in the market. So if you're spinning your wheels and you're stuck and you're like, man, I gotta figure out how to do this, and I got a couple of pieces of the missing puzzle that I need to do, or your YouTube University, good luck with all that shit. You're gonna have a harder time unless you're putting this together as a business, thinking of it like a franchise, thinking of it as an opportunity for you to be able to serve up what everybody else and their mother is wanting to do. Creative real estate investing in general. Do I get my license? Do I not get my license, right? All those are questions, right? You know, potato. What crossed the road first, the chicken or the fucking egg, or what is it? You know what I'm saying? The bottom line, I'm going to keep rambling, and I can talk forever about creative real estate. I can talk forever about real estate, but you know, at the end of the day, there's nobody talking back or chit-chatting with me. So if you want to go ahead and pop something out there in the Q&A, I'll go ahead and I'll answer it and hopefully point you in the right direction. If you see this video, watch it all the way through, back and forth, and to be able to grab those golden nuggets and pro tips. That's what I did when I had to watch videos and then read books and read them over and over and over and highlight and then adapt them and then say those phrases over and over and yes, even sometimes in front of a freaking mirror, and then trying to get all the marbles out of my mouth, right? So I can chat with sellers. That's the biggest thing here, is that I don't care, all the tools in the world don't mean shit. If you can lock up deals and you got automation, you got AI, and it's cloning your voice and all that good stuff, then awesome, right? Bitching. Until it either gets regulated and then you can't do it, and then you got to find out something else, or you got to figure out, oh my God, I got to do this and do that. Now, I'm not going to lie. There's two things I didn't want to do when I got started a long time ago, and that's make cold calls and to knock on doors, right? I needed sellers to come to me. And that's the way it's always going to be. It's never going to stop. But at the end of the day, sure, why not? Do I have an ego not to call? Of course, I'll get on the horn and call. Why not? It keeps your skills sharp, right? You got to keep those closing ratios rocking and rolling always, right? Whether you're negotiating a $10 deal or a $10 million deal, you gotta have negotiation and sales skills. If you don't have those, you're gonna fail miserably in the real estate business, because it is a sales process business. You're not selling cars, you're selling dreams, you're selling property, you're selling millions and millions of dollars worth of assets, right? To people, to investors, sellers, everything, right? You're not selling a widget, you're not selling a car, right? So it's not about benefits, benefits, benefits. It's about problems, problems, solutions, solutions, solutions. And you have to listen. And so if you don't listen, you're not going to hear the pain points so you can provide the solutions. And then even though when you provide the solutions, some people are ignorant. They're not going to go, no, I just can't do it. Or they're greedy and they just, hey, I'd rather let it go to the bank, or I'd rather let this happen or that happen. They're stuck in their mindset. They're not open to ideas, unless you keep on working them. Keep on working it, because they sometimes, hey, ignorance is bliss. What you don't know is what you don't know, or the seller don't know, or the investor don't know. It's okay. If they're willing to listen and they're flexible, then you're going to close a deal. If they're not flexible in working with you as a seller, investor, buyer, or a person in general, good luck working a deal, right? This is going to be very difficult, okay? So scan that QR code. That's for our one-on-one mentoring program. It is a selection process. It's going to stay like that forever because I like it. I like it when we have people that want to come aboard, and if they're going to be pains in the butts, then it's okay. Next, it's not going to be a good fit, right? We want to make sure that you're hungry. We want to make sure that you're going to build you want to build a legacy, that you want to build a business for yourself, whether it's a part-time business, a full-time business, doesn't matter. We put that game plan together, put the target together for you, and then we go after it, right? Now we go after it no different than any other process, right? I know I said McDonald's is easy peasy. It's a burger. How do you build a burger? You can try to figure it out. You have to do a lot of research to get the sauce, burgers, what type of burger, type of bread, what's cooked first, how does it go through the process, how do you wrap it, put it together, and then deliver that product to a person, right? Somebody else figured that out. McDonald's figured that out over decades and decades of time and years of time. So the fastest way, people looking for fast, there's no such thing as the Staples button, boom, boom. Fastest thing is probably a franchise to a staple button, but there's still a lot of research, a lot of stuff you have to do. And you got to go in with some experience, right? Either you had a job, you're an executive, you're a business owner, a salesperson, and sales is sales. You either got a personality or you don't, right? Can you cultivate one? If you work hard enough, yes, right? And then some people like Trump says, no, it's genetics. You either got it or you don't, right? You either have it or you don't. So, and if you don't, that's okay. Then maybe you're the person that needs to be in the back, right? You need to be able to watch the books and watch this and the marketing. Maybe you're a marketing person to maybe come out a little bit and speak, but not much, right? Just, hey, that's okay. There's personality traits at the end of the day. I learned that when I got into management a long time ago, that you can say one thing to one person and then say the same thing to another person. This one will cry and this one's like, yeah, what's up? Let's do it. Let's make it happen, right? But it was the same thing. It's just how you said it to them. So sometimes you got to take off the hat, put on another hat, take off another hat, and put another hat. You got to put on your investor hat. Maybe it's a real estate hat. Maybe it's the empathy hat. Maybe it's the humanity hat or humility hat. We all have them, right? I don't know everything. At the end of the day, I'm always wanting to learn. But yeah, sometimes I look at stuff and like, nah, fuck that. I don't know, or I don't like that, or I don't like that person. Hey, I'm a human being. It's okay. We all hang with people we like. We all hang with people that we want to aspire to be as well, right? We all got our mentors, or actually people that are, that we want to strive to be like, right? And if you could take little pieces, the same thing, right? It's reverse engineering. Going, studying, researching, and taking little pieces and then putting it into your business, your personality, or your jam, right, of business, real estate. So it's all about life as well, right? So that's why I always say, I was talking with a couple of people. We're thinking of bringing them aboard for the mentoring program. But you can tell the ones that listen, the ones that don't listen, the ones that take action, the ones that talk a lot of shit and it's about me, and this and that. But then you ask them a simple question. Hey, did you go order that book? No, I didn't. Okay, well, you're not serious then, right? Because if maybe you don't value my time or anybody's time who has experience and they're sharing it with you. Because I know if there's anybody that was, hey, for me, multi-millionaire, billionaire, whatever, they say some stuff, I'm going to go do it. Or I'm going to figure out how to do it. If I don't, there's a reason, right? If I'm not, at the end of the day, even like me, I could say, hey, well, maybe that person had a reason why they didn't order it. Everybody, can do this really easy, right? And order it. Is it going to help them? Yeah, I can tell it's going to help them because they have no definiteness of purpose. They're spinning around in circles. They're going to try to do this full-time, part-time, all this crazy stuff. And like, well, what the hell? What's going on? You can ask a couple of questions and go, man, they're going in the wrong direction. Good luck. They're going to be spinning their wheels for a couple of years, right? unless they figure it out. And doesn't mean you can't, because hey, when your back is up against the wall, you do some of your best work, right? You got to fight. You got to move forward and do your thing, right? But there is a process to it, man. It's called research. For me, I research real estate. Is it real? Is this creative real estate stuff? Is it real? Can it really be done? Can you really buy a property for $10, $100? Can you really buy a property with OPM, other people's money? Now, remember semantics, right? Other people's money can be the bank's money, right? Because the bank uses other people's money. You put your savings in there, you put checking in there, and the bank uses it and then loans out your fucking cash and shit, right? So that's OPM. You can do the same thing, whether it's a bank loan, conventional loan, private money, IRA, or maybe what else they got? All kinds of those, annuities and things of that nature, stocks and bonds, whatever. An asset is an asset, crypto, whatever, anything can be used as long as it's valuable and you can exchange it for monetary product, or, obviously a product is a house, property, commercial property. It's all a product at the end of the day. Even what I'm doing, right? What are we doing? There's mentoring here, right? I'm going to coach you. I'm going to mentor you. If you want to come aboard, great. If you don't, that's okay. Life's going to move forward with or without you, whether you come aboard or not. At the end of the day, but when there's an opportunity, you jump on it, right? And if you recognize the opportunity, you jump on it. That's kind of what I've done in the past. Look at stuff and I go, man, I like what they're saying. I like what that person's saying. I kind of like this. I'm a cautious person by nature, and I'll go, I don't know. Let's take a look. I like it. Let's go for it. The only thing that holds me back is like, am I going to be able to do this? Can I accomplish it? And yeah, sometimes it's going to be, man, do I really want to write a check for that? I want to spend the money on that, right? But you got to get past that. And I'm learning, even myself, right? Hey, there's mentors. They cost a lot of money. You got to, unless I find somebody and bring them tremendous value like I did last cycle, and bring tremendous value to them and bring a whole enchilada and package. Maybe it's something they're looking for that they've been wanting to do for a long time, and I supply that for them. But I gotta cultivate that. I gotta push it out in the universe to say, is that what I want to do? Do I want to do that? And yeah, will I find it? Of course. Will that broker or people find, or investors find me? Yeah. And then we decide if we're going to move forward, right? On anything. So I call it sitting for thoughts, sitting for ideas. If you're stuck, go to a dark place, or a place that's just yours, right? And sit down, meditate, pray, and have a piece of paper there, and when things come to you, they either come to you right out of the gate, or you can be there for an hour, and maybe it'll come to you, and maybe it's nothing comes to you in an hour, but then it'll come to you 2 days from now, 3 days, or come in a freaking dream or something like that. Because everything is frequency, everything is vibration. Thoughts are out there everywhere, and when you pull them in, it's a belief system, right? Obviously, and the only thing you really have control over is your own mind, right? So at the end of the day, only you can have a bad day. Only you can get yourself out of shit, because there's usually nobody come to the rescue for you and things of that nature. You have to do it, and then deliver the goods, right? And also the professionalism, no different than being a real estate agent or a real estate investor. Professionalism, meaning you're going to show up to the party, and you're going to actually, you got something scheduled, and you're going to make the schedule, or, there's got to be, if you couldn't make it or whatever, that's cool too. Like, even with me with sellers, hey, I'm running a little bit late. This is what's going to go. This is what I got going on. Or maybe it's a mentee, and then we're working with the mentee, and our time goes over, because it's not like a bell where you go, okay, ding, ding, your time's up. We'll see you tomorrow. See you or next week or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Make sure you go watch this, and do this and that. See you, bomb, we're gone. No, we keep on rolling until you understand the concept, until our time is done, so there's not a clock on it, and other mentees know that. So if it goes over, boom, no problem. We reschedule and we make it happen. But they know the rules of the game. You should know the rules of the game, is that, hey, if you schedule something with somebody that you want knowledge from, or they're in a better place than you, then don't blow it, don't fuck it up, don't burn your bridge, right? Now I've burned my bridge. I've done it before, right? People, multi-millionaires and this and that, and then, hey, I'm supposed to show up and go do this and do that, and and then I just fuck it up. I fucked it up in the past before, right? And we all do some stuff. We're all thinking, our egos get attached, and our egos start doing stupid things, and we think we can do this and do that, and then you get humbleized. You go, oh shit, never do that again, right? Learn, then you adapt, adjust, and you rock. You move forward, make it part of your policies and procedures, right? And we all got a lot of stuff going on in the world, right? But I always say, hey, if you live for the weekends, then your ass is broke, period. Guarantee it. Okay, unless you're a multi-gazillionaire, you inherited a bunch of money, and and hey, every day is a freaking holiday, right? Because Monday can be a Saturday, Wednesday could be a Saturday, Friday can be a Saturday. It's just that the government and everybody put days on it: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They had to figure something out so you can go to work every day and go to your job and do your thing, right? So as an entrepreneur, every day is a rock and roll day. Unless it's not, if you want to take the day off, then you take the day off, right? Of course, if you got appointments, you better make those appointments. If there's an appointment, I'm going to be there, okay? Now, sometimes, because we're out the United States of America, guess what? Time zones get screwy-looey, and double bookings happen and things of that nature. That can happen. But I know I will always show up to the party. Always show up to the party. If you don't, shame on you. At the end of the day, you're not going to get anything out of this business. You're going to learn the hard way that people's time is very valuable. Money, time is money, and all that good stuff, right? Because it's true. If you start backpedaling, and that's one thing I don't recommend, but if you want to, some people are willing to do that and backpedal. You work out something with a salary, you have what you need, you did all your numbers, and if your goal is to backpedal on them and on purpose, then hey, shame on you. Don't do stuff like that. But if you're going to do it, that's cool. Totally up to you, right? Backpedaling, all that does is what? With every mistake, you lose trust with the seller. And you keep on doing that, they're going to lose trust. And then someone's going to come around and say, man, that's cool. I'll buy it from you. And they're going to say, yeah, boom, cancel the check on, cancel the deal, and then move with them, right? So you got to keep your sellers happy. You got to, build that trust with them. Make sure you keep every appointment and you're there for them. Answer the phone when they call and all that good stuff, right? Or you call them, and it's until the whole transaction is done, right? That's just part of the process when you're dealing with real estate and dealing with single family properties or even investors, right? There's some investors that are very stringent. Hey, you're a minute late, boom, don't talk to me. Others are like, that's cool, I get it. The business, they're a little more, they're not as stringent, right? And won't chew your ass up for being a minute or two late, but it is what it is, right? And if you blow it, you blow it, So my thing too. I'm not gonna lie, I'm Hispanic, man, right? Hispanics and black people and all that other good stuff, they're always late to shit, right? Always late to the party. Always go fashion to be late, right? Boom. But it is what it is, right? So, or not, you fix it. Say, no, it's important. I have to be there. So I'll be there by that time. Prepare before that. If you got something scheduled, then you prepare and you go, right? So it's a funny thing, right? Some people make tons of excuses for shit. I get it. I make excuses. We all do. We're all human beings, right? But at the end of the day, make sure you follow through with your promises on your deals and stuff. Even if it's a little bit later, you're working with them. So everything's flexible, right? You got to keep working, because sometimes something might happen to a property. Maybe you don't close. You got to take a little bit longer. Maybe you need some information from a title company or escrow company until the property closes. Things are going to happen. One thing you don't have control over is escrow, right? You do have control over the seller and working a deal and all that good stuff and getting it closed. But at the end of the day, escrow is going to do what they're going to do. They got to order, payoffs and all that good stuff. And if you don't push them, sometimes you got to write them. Sometimes you got to push them a little harder to get stuff closed, or otherwise it could take days and weeks, and then weeks drag out to, more weeks or whatever. So you just got to be a squeaky wheel. Squeaky wheel gets the grease, right, as they say. So let me see what else we got here. I'm going to move on to this creative real estate investing. The future of real estate. Well, the future of real estate is this. Look, a lot of people, everybody and their mother wants to become a real estate investor, wants to become a real estate mogul and all that good stuff. I get it. At the same token, it's a business. I'm hearing a lot of people just getting in, kicking tires, trying to figure this out. They're not even learning how to underwrite deals before they do. They're like skipping steps. It's like putting the cart before the horse, right? I've seen several people where they go out and it's either from bad advice or they joined a program. They told them to go out and do this, get your LLC, get this going, get a holding company, do all this stuff, get some corporate credit, and then, build your websites, and then, do all this other stuff. And when they should be working on themselves, right? They should be becoming the expert first. That's part of the process when you get there, right? Because if you haven't closed the deal, then all that shit, it is what it is. That's how but there's good and bad, right? When I got started, I had to do that. I had to figure out how do I want my business to be perceived. Let's get my marketing together. Let's get my websites together. Let's get my business plan together. Let's get my, what's the word I'm looking for? The LLC, and how is it going to be constructed and put together as far as like a house, right? Or a building. Make sure the foundation is nice and solid. So at the same token, there's a lot of programs that help you with that. But really where the magic comes in is actually learning how to execute deals, learning how to, you should be able to learn how to understand how and where the money is on a deal, right? So the future of real estate is, yes, is basically, I'm not gonna lie, and it's being done, and I applaud people out there that are sharing it and teaching it, the good ones, amen to them, rock and roll, because they're helping. Believe it or not, they're following through with what our cause and mission is, and that's helping our fellow Americans, right? Helping our fellow Americans with their superpowers and figuring out that, hey, creative real estate investing is awesome, and that you learn what you like about it, what flavor is it for you, right? But learning the foundations first, because everybody becomes a bird dog. Then you do some wholesaling. Then you want to fix and flip and buy and hold. You're either going to use some of your money and credit, and then eventually you're going to go, man, I need to do more. So you're going to go, man, I got to get into this creative real estate investing realm. That is the future of real estate. Future of real estate is, excuse me, is creative real estate investing. Period. And that under that umbrella is wholesaling, Subto, subject to existing financing, subject to existing seller financing, subject to taxes. It could be lease options, rent to own, co-living, assisted living, all those affordable housing type things, right? Airbnb is all creative real estate investing, right? The traditional stuff is the brokerage where you list the property and then you find buyers to buy that listed property. That is traditional. Now it's starting to bleed together, right? Where you got brokerages that are just doing that, and they go in where they're licensed, they can go out and they work with the buyers exclusively, and they find distressed properties on market, off market, and I'm seeing, from what I'm seeing, is those are morphing into more adaptable models over time, which is basically turning into and morphing into what we do already anyways. And that's the opportunity that I'm going to share with you. The future of real estate, right? What you need to know, because I've been on track so far. And that's the beautiful thing, is that when you do something and you move forward, and sometimes you go, man, am I going in the right direction? Is this right? Okay. But then sometimes it just doesn't happen, because it's not like a microburst, right? Where it's going to be, hey, tomorrow I understand this is going on next month. No, you're seeing it over a period of time of years, right? And then you keep moving forward. You're moving forward. I'm on the right track. Okay, cool. And then you start going, hey, I've seen 3 models of this go through in the last 10, 15 years. I've seen a few models of this with the private investment firms, and then, wholesale and Subto and, and brokerages and stuff, and going, where's the market going, right? Even Zillow and Open Door and apps and Carvana and all this crazy shit, right? AI, text marketing, all these technologies coming into the mix, kind of like Jurassic Park, right? We're putting old school with new school, putting shit into the mix, and then creating this stuff, going, where's this market going to go? So my opportunity for you is the American Mentee Program, right? We're going to share proprietary stuff with you. We're going to share our secret sauce with you, right? Every business has its own secret sauce. Our secret sauce is the art of the deal. It's the AMP Live method, right? It's how we do the sales 101. And surfing for deals, in the mission to the submission, to be able to underwrite a deal, look at it and go, where's the money at? Is this a wholesale deal, a Subto deal, a seller finance deal, a rent to own deal, a lease option deal? It could turn into an Airbnb? Is it maybe assisted living? Is it co-living? An autism house of some sort? Maybe Section 8. Nobody really talks about Section 8, because they're like, Section 8, forget all that. There's horror stories, there's good and bad and all of it. It all comes down to what your tolerance level is, right? What do you like? Someone else says Section 8 is shit, but you get into it and you go, I love the shit. Then that's all that matters. Who gives a fuck what the others say, right? Unless they're like, hey, 100%, you're going to fuck up. Don't do it, right? Or, that could be on a property. Maybe not that property, but maybe the perfect property. That'll work for you, right? And maybe you enjoy Section 8. Maybe you enjoy those government checks. Maybe you enjoy taking care of those people and knowing that you're helping them out in situations that otherwise wouldn't be able to be helped, right? And you're going to provide a product. You're going to provide a beautiful, lovely product for them and become wealthy doing it, right? Or at least have a better life. And it's a good exchange. They're going to have a good life. You're going to have a good life. Everybody has a good life. So cool. Maybe the other ones that say, no, I wouldn't go Section 8. I don't want Section 8. Who cares, right? Now, by no means am I pushing Section 8. It's just an example, right? It's just something that I'm sharing with you. It could be, hey, I want to buy this property and cash flow it. Hey, I want to arbitrage the interest rate. Hey, I want to go ahead and buy this property, go Subto, fix and flip, buy and hold. hey, I want to do an option on this property, so I have some inventory because I want to populate my website, and if I can sell it, great, I'll make some money, and I'm going to help out the sellers, and they're going to get exposure. And maybe if nobody even buys it for me, maybe someone else buys their house thanks to my exposure because I'm the one who put the work in there. So what if they sell it to someone else, at a higher price, or I mean whatever. If it's lower, that's different. A higher price, you know what I'm saying. To a degree, because an option is an option. If you agree to say, hey, we're good to go, you sell the property, boom, no problem, rip up the contract and move on. All right. So there's a lot of ways to doing this business. That's what I love about the negotiating process. That's what I love about creative real estate investing. It is the future of real estate. We've been doing it for quite a long time, studying it and, understanding it. There's times and places where, it will or will not work. But at the end of the day, it just depends on the deal, right? Being able to structure a deal. So once again, getting back to being on point, right? Being on point by seeing the models that were out there, seeing the new models that are being built, seeing the trends that are going on with on market and off market. That's why I had several videos in the past about, hey, on market and off market deals. Which one's better, right? What came first, the chicken or the egg type thing, right? You say potato, I say potato, and giving my 2 cents. My 2 cents is that you should do both. I should say hyper focus on off-market deals because that's where you're going to make your money. You're going to go belly to belly. And if you got your closing ratios at 60, 70, 80%, you're going to kick some fucking ass, plain and simple. Off-market deals are cool too but you got to have a small village. You got to build that village, right? And have some people that, your acquisitions dispo going to do that. Or you're going to do both. You're going to get, unless you hyper focus on one thing, you're going to be spread out too thin, right? It's like going to have a bunch of little mini U's and none of your mini U's may even, hit a target. Or maybe they can't hit a target, right? Right? You're shooting blanks at the end of the day. So the bottom line is hyper focus on one thing, put all the power in one fucking punch, and then go forward. Boom, 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 until you achieve it. Then move to the next vertical or marketing or the next type of wholesaling or the next type of real estate method, right? Too many people are trying to do this and do that, and then I got a deal, then I didn't do a deal, then I'm thinking this is a rental market, so now I got to learn this creative real estate investing stuff, so I got to go back to the drawing board. I do it too. I do it. It's like an excuse not to go do that. I don't want to call. I want to do this instead, right? You know what I mean? So it's just we are our own worst enemy. It is what it is. Unless you lock down that discipline, lock down that consistency, right? And then a new word. It's not a new word that I've learned, but I'm adapting in my life is humility, right? And that's, hey, being able to know that, hey, you don't know it all. And if other people are doing certain things and you got to learn it, then, hey, you got to learn it from those people or be part of it and do your thing, right? So, that's my 2 cents for you today. It's not even Mindset Money Monday, but the training part, I did want to show you some properties really quick. See how much time we got on here. Where are we at? We're at 37 minutes. Cool. I'm going to go an hour on this jabroni thingy here. So the future of real estate. Yes, we do have real estate domination meetup. That's fine. But what I'm suggesting is this: if it's not us, find someone who's willing to mentor you and work with you, because there's a lot of potholes in this business where you can move forward. You get into a program, you start watching, you start doing this, and then boom, pothole. Now you got to get yourself out of the pothole because no one's going to pull you up, even though I get it. Community is the new thing too. Cardone's jumping on it, Pace is on it. Everybody's kind of building these communities with the school app and all that good stuff, which is great, right? Everything has a cycle. Tony Robbins, he's already huge anyway. He's been doing this shit forever. With the dean, forgot his last name. It's a weird one, but it is what it is, right? So I get all that. So for us, yeah, build the community, cool. If someone wants to do that and come aboard and help out with that, awesome. I'd love to put them in charge for all that good stuff and even some other things we're talking about that we want to do in the general area. So that's Q4, meaning, hey, yes, we're hiring for acquisitions, dispo, high ticket sales, or any ideas, partnering up, JVing, things of that nature on deals, or even in business, right? Because that's part of the was a long time ago. Not was, it's still, I think it still happens. I'm not quite sure. I haven't looked too much in the internet marketing world about JVs and affiliate marketing and all that good stuff, right? So people do it. In business and real estate, lending and real estate and mortgage, called affiliated business arrangement. That's like the real deal type stuff, right? Or like you got a brokerage and then you want to have lending inside of your real estate brokerage. Then you do an affiliated business arrangement. They come in, there's a piece of the office or maybe they come in twice a week to service your people and stuff like that. Whether, you know, in the real estate business, I know other businesses do it too, but it's about papering up and doing the splits and stuff, right? People are like too freaked out and going, oh, I got to sign this and sign that. Yeah, it is a pain in the ass to put together, because if you put paperwork together and then you train them and they move forward and then, you know, they disappear and shit on you, you know, that it is what it is. I guess that's what that's just part of the nature, part of the game, right? Because I'm not going to break policy and procedure for anybody. You can have whatever policies and procedures you want. Ours are to safeguard you as a mentee working with us, and as well as us to safeguard ourselves and our proprietary information, what we do, how we do it, and all the legalities that go with doing this in a certain way, is to be able to paper up, right? Because I always say, look, I'm not from Texas. Well, I do have Texas handshakes, yeah, with people I've known for 5, 10, 15 years, all day long, right? Spit down, you know, big old loogie on the hand. Let's go, man, right? There's a Texas handshake, man or woman. If not in the beginning, you don't know each other. So what's the best way to take care of yourself? It's called a what? NDNC. So there you go. Cheers to you. Rocking all this side. I forgot. Okay, it's backward down there. Can you see it? Okay. There it is, the Polo logo. There's a crazy story about that, right? About the logo and Ralph Lauren and all that good stuff. They went to battle as well, right? So it's pretty crazy. And then you got Polo Association is different from the actual Ralph Lauren polo, right? So people, you know, you put stuff out and it is what it is. That's just business, right? But they're cool shirts. I like these shirts. It's the only thing that I would wear besides suiting up. And then a hat. I'm not much for hats because I hate fucking hats. But right, there's the brand you got to promote. So there's the me coming out, right? What's in it for me? What's in it for me is working with you and looking for people who are super, super hungry across the United States of America, who want to get into the American Mentee program, who truly want to be mentored one-on-one, because nobody does that unless you're going to go bring tremendous value to somebody, go be part of their company, and go sell for them, raise capital, and all that good stuff. That's a different type of jam. For us, this is like us helping you build your franchise, helping you build your legacy, helping you build a business for you, whether it's part-time or it's a family business, or you're going to try to turn it into a corporate business and turn it into a corporate real estate investing firm tied to a brokerage or tied to insurance or tied to, you know, financial analysis, a financial company or whatever, maybe even MLM or whatever. I don't know. There's all kinds of ideas that can happen. I'm always thinking a little bit bigger at the end of the day, but I got to remember, hey, we stay here in the present. This is where we rock. And what is the future game? What is the future goal? What are your future goals? Should always be writing down your goals as well. A lot of people say, I got them right here. And I'm like, no, you got to write them down on paper, right? You got to have your goals on paper or print them up, put them on your computer and all that good stuff. You got to touch them, read it, smell it, all that good stuff, taste it, eat it. I'm just kidding. The bottom line is you need to have goals and you need to show up to the party. Keep your appointments. And what else we got? Sellers. You know, hey, they got pain points. Every seller that you work with, about 98% of them, or I should say 97% of them, are truthful and honest. They're not going to be dishonest with you, right? They're not going to be deceitful. They're going to tell you everything from birth until now. Once you learn the Amplified method and the art of the deal, if you don't learn those things correctly, then you're going to have a hard time dealing with sellers. You're going to have a hard time by trying to make those offers on the phone. You got to build that relationship with them. There is an art to it. There's a process to it. And if you do it correctly, everybody's a little bit different. I've been hearing some stuff about scripts and stuff. Oh yeah, I got some scripts, or I downloaded some scripts, or I found some scripts, or I'm this guy, I got some scripts, but then I'm trying to wing it. I'm like, good luck to you on that, right? You're going to, unless you're a masterful salesperson, you know, and some people, you know, I get it. They pat themselves on the back like, yeah, I did a good job. I know what I need to do. I talked to them, built a relationship. Did you close the deal? Did you get the deal? Did you get the contract? No. Okay, well, there's a process. There's a problem. Something's happening. We need to fix and tweak out a little bit, right? Or maybe they got the contract, but then they didn't underwrite it right. Got a contract, but then it's too high. They can't sell it. They were afraid to go lower. They were afraid to make that offer. You know, or maybe they made the offer and they got all freaked out, but then they didn't explain to them why that offer is the way it is, so the investor can make a profit and the seller can get close to what they would get to even if they listed it. So it's a no-brainer, right? List it with an agent and have a bunch of people going through and wait, and you know, until it sells, or shave off 5, 10, 15,000 bucks or so. So what? I get it. It sounds like a lot of money, but at the end of the day, do you got 50,000 to fix up your property? make the payments, insurance, the issues, closing it, finding a buyer, marketing, listed with an agent, all that good stuff. It's going to cost you more than 10 to 15,000 bucks anyways, right? Or you go with an investor. That's going to get pretty damn close to your numbers. If not, then, hey, there's people out there. Yeah, just write me a check. I just want done with this. I'm tired of it. You know, the heirs are bugging me. It's a probate deal, or maybe, hey, I'm getting abatement issues, the sellers, you know, whatever, you know, from the city, and you know, or maybe they bought into a deal, and you know, there's all kinds of reasons why somebody would want to sell a property. So that's why I always ask, what's the story? And if people get irritated, I don't give a shit. What's the story, and why are they selling? If you don't want to share it, then cool, next. If you're selling, oh, I sell all kinds of deals. Oh, I always put the address. Well, you know what? I'm not going to break my policies just for you. I don't care. There's millions and millions of people out there. So what? It's one freaking deal. All right? If it's that juicy and that awesome, it would have been sold already, right? Or not, right? Maybe the process is it's overpriced. You got to do the numbers, right? You got to understand how to do those numbers, underwrite. And that's the thing. Let's get back to the underwriting thing, right? Some people go, yeah, I know how to underwrite. And then they're talking about this and that. I go, that's not what underwriting means, right? And it could mean anything to anybody. You know, underwrite's just kind of a fancy word, or even breaking down the deals. It's not a fancy word. It's common sense. Where's the money at? How do you get your after repair value, right? Are you using apples to apples? Are you as good as an agent with a comparable market analysis? Are you as good as an appraiser without having to have a license? Right? Those, and if you are, then you're going to get some awesome comps, because that's what you need for your after repair value. And the demographics, are you going through demographics, making sure the area, is there a school next door? Is there a park next door? It's because people hear that, oh, well, there's a park next door. This value is awesome. No, that sucks. You got hobos, drug addicts, and parties every weekend and shit, going to hang out, and depending on where it's at, of course, right? I don't care if you, even the nice areas, they got riffraff, right? Because that's what it draws. That's what they're there for. It's public. It's a public park. Anybody can go there, you know. So it doesn't mean it's a great thing. If you got a school, then that's just noise pollution. And then you got tons of traffic all day long, right? Or in the morning and afternoon and shit. What else? You got busy street. Oh, it's not that far. Well, shit. You better know if the house is soundproof, right? It's still a busy street. Busy street doesn't mean your property's more valuable. It's going to be, it's less valuable. You got a corner lot, more valuable, yes, because it's a corner lot. You don't have neighbors and stuff, right? So, you know, it is what it is. People are a trip. We got this property that's being sold in Missouri. Man, so there's some picky people in Missouri, man. They act like they're in California or living in Beverly Hills or some shit, right? Oh, what about the carpet? Oh, what about that? And the views? The views, please, trust me. What are you talking about, a view? It's not a multi-million-dollar property. It's pretty crazy. It's a trippy, it's different, right? But I get it. You know, people look at price. All they think about is price, and that's what they want. So, hey, whatever. We're here to work a deal. And if you're a real estate agent and you're in Missouri, definitely reach out. Willing, hey, bring those buyers down the wire. Bring the buyers down the wire so we can make some money. Also, some stuff in Texas, right? The Texas Triangle, hitting Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. I like that area. I want to go up and above Texas a little bit and see what's out there. I know there's estates and some farms and some acreage and all that good stuff. So definitely looking for stuff out there for purchasing, for rentals, cash flow, as well as even for myself. I'd be looking for that stuff. What else? Where's the other place? So Tennessee. I'm hearing some juicy things about Tennessee and Nashville. The surrounding areas are just certain parts of Tennessee. Forgot what parts, but Tennessee for sure, Nashville. If you got properties out there, definitely send them down our wire, take a look at single family, multifamily, commercial, whatever, especially here in Southern California. In Southern California, we're looking for distressed properties, commercial properties, multifamily, apartment buildings, even some land. If it's there, we'll take a look at it. Properties as well, real estate, single family properties we're looking for. It can be distressed properties, divorce properties, probates, vacant properties, even nice properties in nice areas. So along the coast, doesn't matter where it's at, price point doesn't matter, just as long as it makes sense to a degree. Of course, not very many people buying $5 and $10 million properties unless you're, a rock star or an athlete or movie star or something like that, right? Like Mark Wahlberg, I think he was in LA, bought something cheap, spent 5 or 6, 7 years and built it all up, sold it, and now he's in Vegas, right? Got the hell out of California. So it is what it is, right? So it just tells you what you need to do. You need to fix America, vote correctly, vote. That's right, vote red. Oh my God, is that red? Yep, red. Red is money, according to the Chinese zodiac, right? So let's make some money. Let's rock and roll, make some money together. After all, that's why I'm doing this. One is, yeah, for the algorithms. Two is to look for awesome people like yourself who are probably watching this, are eventually going to watch it, or you're going to see it floating around through social media or pop up in your Facebook, your YouTube, your LinkedIn, what else, Twitch, and all these other platforms that we stream on live when we do this across all the multiple social media platforms. And then it's chopped up into, little bite-sized videos for monetization and all that good stuff. We don't have it exactly licked, right, as far as, doing it the way these other guys and gals do it. But it works, right? Works for us. The same token, you're going to want to do this as well and get on here and talk about your business, talk about your brand, talk about your real estate firm, talk about what you're good at. And yes, become an expert. Not everybody wants to, coach or mentor or even do this at this level to go and say, hey, I want to help other people. Others are like, no, put my head down. I'm going to put my blinders on. I'm going to grind. Forget everybody else. Forget about the kumbaya. I just need help. So a lot of our avatar, a lot of people that have been beat up in the industry, who spent anywhere from $5,000 to $50,000 to $150,000, and they're still spinning their wheels, still trying to figure out how to wholesale, or they're trying to figure out how to buy and hold by going Subto. Everybody has their ideas. Hey, I was going to do a franchise. This franchise said this, that said that, they said this. It's okay, right? That's the learning process. That's the research process. What we're going to do, it's new, right? It's a new opportunity. We're going to reprogram you. We're going to reprogram your brain to be able to think about what? Thinking about creative real estate investing and all the extra strategies that are there, along with done with you and done for you, right? So done for you is just going to set up your apparatus, going to set up your business, going to set up your McDonald's, your brokerage, or whatever it is, right? With everything that goes inside it, so you can actually have leads. As I always say, if you don't have any leads, you're dead in the water. And you also got to get away from trying to work on one deal at a time. Oh, working on one deal, or I got 3 deals and that's it. And I get it. Hyper focus to get them done, cool. But then when they're done, what are you going to do? Right? It's feast or famine. You got to keep your pipeline full. You got to keep it overflowing. You got to keep it. Your pipeline needs to be barfing on you all the time, right? Just barfing on you, going leads, 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 leads. Cherry pick all the good ones, and then if you're able to build up and close some deals and start hiring some peeps. You only hire them when you have too much overflow. So then you hire them and partner up with them. Even if you got a split, go give them splits, right? That's what we do. If you got someone you want, but they got to bring that tremendous value at the end of the day, right? A lot of people don't. They say they're going to do it, and then they don't show up, or they show up when they want to. The only way people show up is when they have to write a check, right? And then if they don't, they know it's on them. The excuse is not on us, or the blame is not on us. It's on them, right? The blame, they didn't show up to the party. Shame on them. Shame on you. You're not going to get what you need to learn. You're not going to get what you need out of the program, or anything for that matter, is that you got to show up. You gotta put in the time, and then you have to execute, right? And then we talk about what transpired and what happened, right? You can't do that in groups, because there's so many people. You can't do that watching a video, or you can't stop the video, or you can't ask the video, hey, what happened right there? And maybe down the future AI you can ask, right? And there's a video and you're watching AI and you say, oh, hey, right there. Now, how did you do this and that? If I did that, and then the video alters and it comes back, right? And it'll give you the answer. That might be cool, maybe in the future, right? But not right now. Will technology allow you to buy properties without doing anything? No. Some people say yes, but there's always going to be the human element. There's always going to be the human expert element, period. It's not going away for a while. It's not going to happen this cycle. It's not going to happen next cycle as far as disappearing. Maybe in 2050, 2060, 2070, right? Like the movie RoboCop, right? Where he died and he went back to his house, and and he went into the house and there was a screen. Hello, welcome to blah 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 house. And then you walk over to the kitchen, and it come up, and there'd be, hey, this is what this kitchen has this, buy these products, and I got the idea to do that with I was going to call it the Amp Live. What the hell was it? What was I going to call it? I can't even remember what I was going to call it. It's on my goals, but it was when they actually had Bluetooth and you had beacons. And you can put those beacons in cars. You can put them outside. You can put them inside the house, and you'll be able to, use this to market to people. They call it like geofencing now. But instead, you'd walk into a house, you know, and boom, it'd pop up on your phone. Hey, go through the tour. Here's the kitchen. Here's what's done with the kitchen. Here's the products. Here's some affiliate links and things of that nature, right? Boom. Then it'd have a little advertisement on there. Said, hey, you know, if you need to get qualified for a loan, boom, go here. If you want to buy appliance stores, all that shit, and you'd have it all connected. But then Google came in, and I think Apple came in and eliminated that Bluetooth and the beacon thing. They took it all over and said, oh, no. And then, of course, they passed some laws and a bunch of other shit, so you couldn't do it. So that scrapped that whole idea, right? Until it changes again. But that's what I'm saying with technology. You know, it could be AI can take a shit or get regulated, and then it's done. Text marketing can disappear maybe, or even email. Why not email? It is what it is. Who knows, right? What if it did? What if the phones, you know, disappeared? You know, not supposed, you know, the do not call list and all kinds of crazy stuff. There's all kinds of crazy things that are out there. I get it. Marketing is marketing. Why bitch about it? I don't bitch about it. If I get a text, if I get an email, if I get mail that's all junk mail, right, from the local area or from all over the place, right? You know, there's not enough time to give energy to bitching about shit, right? You know, there's no need to be an asshole, but there are people out there, right, that bitch about it because you shot them a text. The companies bitch about it because they're overloading their systems. You know, it is what it is, right? Welcome to, you know, capitalism. So without further ado, let me go ahead and share something else with you. I thought this is cool. This is kind of cool right here. Check this out. Coming up? Nope. How about this one going to come up? All right, we'll try that one. Now this one looks like McDonald's. Has a McDonald's ring, right? One goal, one path. Stop spinning your freaking wheels, right? Come on now. Where's it at? Right there. Scan that QR code, jump on, jump aboard. But yeah, I get it. People are spinning their wheels out there. I get it. Make sure you learn how to underwrite those deals. After you learn how to underwrite those deals, well, first you got to hunt them. And then when you hunt them, you need to know what to do with them. And when you have those deals, you got to be able to figure out, hey, what's the after repair value? What are the repairs going to be? Without having to go there, you should know probably 90% of what type of repairs, because the seller will tell you everything from birth until now. It's called the mission is submission, that it's new, that we're going to share with you, as well as the Amplified method, which is new. We're going to share that with you, right? It's a new opportunity for you to eliminate all the BS, because you'll never be left by yourself. You'll never be left by your alone doing this business. We're going to do this together. So understanding that and being able to bounce back questions and answers, and then actually seeing by going, hey, do this, 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 and then seeing it execute and happen in the real world, solidifies your trigger, or solidifies what you are doing, muscle memory, to go, boom, it worked. Shit. You know how many times I hear it all the time? Well, why didn't anybody else share that with me? Why didn't anybody else tell me that stuff? That's just the way it is, right? You can only learn so much from videos. You can only learn so much from PDFs. You can only learn so much by being in groups, you know, and going back and forth, because not everything's going to get answered. Not everything is based on what you're trying to learn or what you want to accomplish. Everybody's different. So this program is customized to you, right? And yes, we are one, Americans Helping Americans. It's actually powered by Amplified Media now. Amplified Media is a marketing, broadcasting, and media company that powers us and what we do, as well as mentees across the United States of America. That's what that means, done with you, done for you. Done for you means we're going to put up those things. We're going to put those things together so you have leads. So you have leads, and you have leads that you can work, and then work in the different types of leads, right? And having automation. I'm going to share with you on how to go after quality over and above quantity. Okay, quality first. Run it through the funnel. Boom, take it all down. And then let the systems start chopping down and bringing forth the quality out of the quantity. Because sooner or later, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, maybe even a year, year and a half, I've seen a year and a half, if somebody responds back because it was a pre-foreclosure, and then they fixed it, they made the payments and reinstated a notice of rescission, and they corrected it, then all of a sudden, boom, a year later, they're back in the same situation, we're hitting them up again, and boom, they raise their hand, right? So never delete your data. Keep working it, because people do move, situations happen, life happens, people die, people get sick, people lose their jobs, and everything happens in life. It's because, and you know, it is what it is. But you know, you got to. So when you're there to help them out, there's also the good and the bad and the ugly. So the good parts are, and the best part is, I had this story. I was talking with a young man. I think he's from Alabama or something, and I was telling him about, yeah, hey, you know, it's a great feeling when you help somebody, because he goes, I want to get into business, I want to help some people, I want to help sellers, right? I said, great, because that is the byproduct. when you help a seller and you're putting it to the bank of good, right? You don't do it on purpose. You just do it because you do it, right? And we had one lady. It was a property in the high desert, and we pretty much she tore it all apart, tore the kitchen out, tore the bathrooms out, and the house. She ran out of money. I came along. She called off of one of our ads, and we went through the process. Went through the mission to submission, did a submission. We got it. We looked at it. We underwrote it. I go, okay, well, it's kind of tight. There is a little bit of wiggle room here. Let me chat with her, see what's up, right? You never know, right? That's where that part of receivership comes down. If you're ready to receive something, then it'll present itself. So I didn't have to call her. It wasn't that good of a deal, but I said, you know what? Let me see what we can do, because that's what we do. They're going to honor what we do, and that's to help our fellow Americans, right? Period. So that's what we did. I called her up, went to the property, discussed it, started chatting with her, and then looked at everything. Go, man, what a mess that we got here. And she had a couple of kids, I believe. And I looked at it and I did the numbers. I go, but she couldn't give up. She needed a certain amount of money to pay off the debt, and then she needed certain money to leave because her father was sick and was going to die up in Northern California. And I said, well, you know what? This is what I can do. I can't do this deal. I'm going to be honest with you. I think I prefer to write a contract and let me plug in and wholesale and sell this contract to another investor that I think that's probably going to want this. And they want, like maybe a mom and pop who wants to do some development stuff, or they want to do, some construction stuff for fix and flip or buy and hold. And their margins are not as tight as, or not as, maybe they can do something more than I can do, just because they want to keep it. And I'm like, for me, this is what I worked it out. Long story short, said, no problem, let's get it done. And put the contract together. And I said, here's what you got on the debt. Here's what you want, what you need. Give me a little love so I can make a couple of bucks. All right. And you're okay with that, right? Because I'm going to market it. I'm going to spend the time. I'm going to interview the people, and I'm going to sell the contract to another investor. And I'll make sure that they're all vetted and all good to go, and work it all out, right? As long as you get paid your money. Okay. And we're probably going to go subject to existing financing. I explained everything to her and all that good stuff. And I was going to sell that deal to another investor, subject to existing financing. And they would be the trustee and beneficiaries and all that good stuff. I said, no problem. Whatever you can do, it's okay. And I said, if I can't do it, I'll rip it all up first. But if I find the buyer, then we're going to move forward with the rest of the paperwork. She said, sure, no problem. So that's what we did. I got to hustling. I got to my little office, started calling all the investors, talking to everybody, and boom, one investor is actually a couple. Said, yeah, we're looking for our next fix and flip, and we're kind of new and kind of done some deals, but we're looking for something smaller because all these other deals are way too big, but I think this will be perfect. And that's exactly what we did. I sold the property to them. We went to the office, filled out the paperwork, they signed it. And then 5 years later, she calls back and says, actually, she got it all done. She got her check. I got my little check, and that was it. Then I ended up getting a call 5 years later. I picked up the phone, and she goes, oh my God, is this Eric? I said, yeah, this is Eric. She goes, do you know who I am? I said, no, who is this? I said, do you remember me? I was up in the high desert, and you helped me with this and that. My father was I needed the money, and I couldn't figure it out, but you got the property sold and to another investor, or you did whatever you did and helped me out and got me my money, right? And so yeah, I remember. She goes, I just want to say thank you. I didn't even think you were going to pick up the phone. I didn't think the number was still going to work. And I just want to say thank you very much, because I got to go see my father before he passed away. Otherwise, that wouldn't have happened if I wouldn't have met you. And second was, I moved to Nevada. I got my nursing license, registered nurse now. I'm rocking and rolling. My son's going to private school. I bought a freaking house, and I am kicking ass in Vegas. I'm like, wow, thank you. Well, I didn't say thank you. I said, well, congratulations. And she just said, I just wanted to say thank you to you because you changed my freaking life. I go, wow, right there solidifies what I was doing and what I do today, and how I feel about you and others across the United States of America, is that it's true. Everything's in the truth. Be you, be yourself, do the right thing, put into the bank of good, help your fellow Americans. And remember, you can't help everybody, right? You cannot help everybody. Even though when you start doing this business, you get an ego and you think you can. Sometimes it'll come back and bite you in the ass. Unless you just want to write a check because it's charity, boom, then that's what's going to happen. But it was the greatest feeling in the world. It was close to almost when I used to play rock and roll a long time ago, and I'd go on stage and play and perform for a bunch of people. And that was that's the greatest thing in the world, because the adrenaline is so awesome, and the people and the synergy and everything is it's like no feeling that you will ever feel. I mean, for me anyways. And then the second one was obviously helping people. And then sometimes people were crying after we're cutting checks. Oh, thank you for helping me and this and that. So I know how it is, right? I know how it is to help other people and go through that and go through the emotions of that, right? And hey, I've been through some good times and bad times and all that good stuff too. We all go through it, right? So I'm all about, hey, help your fellow man, right? Make sure, hey, karma's a bitch and all that bullshit. Remember that, right? Just try to do the best thing, the right thing with what you have, and don't circumvent people, try to rip people off with their house. Don't try to, be an asshole towards people, man, right? Just the golden rule: treat others as you would like to be treated, right? And just be careful, when you do certain things, be careful that because hey, it can come back on you for whatever reason, and just cover your arse. I say CYA, cover your arse at the end of the day, and keep on moving forward, helping your fellow Americans, putting into the bank of good, right? Because you're always going to keep rocking and rolling. Wear that shield of armor, or I should say the armor of God, the shield of God, the sword of God, and go to battle for your fellow Americans, right? For your fellow Christians, your fellow, I'm not a holy roller, but that's how I feel, and that's how I feel today. And I felt like that all pretty much all my life. Even when I was younger, I was always the underdog, but then I'd come and rise to the top, and people would, it's an awesome feeling, right? It is some work. At the end of the day, it does take work. Nothing's done overnight. A lot of people think, oh, overnight success and things of that nature. No, it literally takes 5, 10, 15, 20 years, 25 years to get to that ultimate success, right? So we're all on that journey. If you're not willing to pay the price, then you're never going to taste it. You're never going to feel it. You're never going to get it. But this is one of the fastest ways to get there, is by piggybacking off of other people's expertise, right? I learned that a long time ago. I'm learning it again, even now, right? To scale up the business, to scale up and to take it to another level, are things that I got to do that are way different than what you got to do, maybe, or vice versa. Who knows, right? Maybe you're rocking and rolling and you're like, man, I like this guy. I want to work with them, or not. It's okay, right? But it is a selection process. So this is our big thing here. Here's my who I am. Obviously, Erick Jimenez. I like all this stuff. I saw this and I said, hey, man, boom, can you put this together for me, young man? And boom, put it together. Erick Jimenez. AHA, Americans helping Americans, one American at a time, one property at a time, one family at a time, doing our part to get America back on track together with you and others across the United States of America. And AMP Live, the American Mentee Program, the only program of its kind where we truly mentor you and others across the United States of America, one-on-one. We have some coaching programs for you as well for the tire kickers, right? For the ones that have a pulse, that's cool too. It'll get you up and running and help you get your first, second, third deal, right? It'll shave off 2 to 3 to 5 years for those type of programs. If you really want to scale your business and you really want to get off the freaking couch and get off your ass and jump on the horse and start rocking and rolling, right? And jump into the ring to beat some ass. That means what? Beating deals asses, doing deals and rocking deals and building your business, right? Then, hey, the one-on-one mentoring program is just for you. Powered by AMP Live Media, a marketing, media, and broadcasting company. Sponsored by VIP Execs Realty and Lending, Step into Excellence. So I might as well put that up here and share that with you. If you're wanting to get your real estate license, definitely reach out. You can scan that QR code, I believe, and that's to book some time with myself. Well, that's for surfing for deals. Creative real estate investing, how to get off market deals. I want to share this with you, and then I'm going to wrap this up and move on. I'll probably be back at 6 p.m. Didn't have enough time because I wanted to get on here and show you some properties. They're actually going to be some pre-foreclosures, fixers, fixer-uppers, and all that good stuff in different states. I'm going to share Southern California with you. A lot of people are afraid of Southern California. Don't be afraid, okay? So VIP Execs Realty and Lending, Step into Excellence. If you're looking for properties anywhere in Southern California or California, period, that's who you want to chit-chat with. You want to get your broker's license, or I should say your real estate license, definitely reach out. Or if you want to hang your license, definitely reach out. Or if you're looking for luxury property or whatever here in Southern California, or maybe you want to be represented by a broker that's going to actually take care of your butt, and he's tenacious and who's going to fight for you to get what you need in the lending aspect and the real estate aspect of this business, definitely reach out. Obviously, that's myself on the private sector there and with the broker as well. So our resources are your resources, right? So in Southern California or anywhere in the United States or even internationally, we can work on both sides, the broker side, the real estate side, the private sector side, short sales, pre-foreclosures, it doesn't matter, right? Fixer-uppers, vacant properties, probates, high equity properties, tired freaking landlords, all that good stuff. Definitely reach out. See what we got here. I'll share this with you. Get deals done with the American Mentee program. Boom, there it is. Scan that QR code. What do we got there? Yep, it's $11,189 right now. That's 19,000. Originally, it's 19,189 because we're not done with the second quarter. It's good to the second quarter. Then we're going to chop it off and not accept any more people. And then even then, I think we're going to highly focus on working deals, rocking deals, acquiring deals, assets, and gearing up for 2026. So the second or the third or fourth quarter, we may not take on any more mentees after that. So take advantage of it now while it's still only $11,189. That's nothing compared to what's out there, right? There's programs that are 8, 9, 10,000, and you get 6 weeks of coaching. You get you get what else? You get some videos, right? Maybe you'll get some other products that they throw in there, right, to give you some perceived value. Maybe it's PDFs, maybe it's a Facebook group. I get it. The community's awesome, right? If you got time for that. I know I don't have time to jump into community and talk with people and things of that nature. But if you do, then awesome. Then the community's going to help you. You're going to meet some good people, right? For me, it's a different type of level. It's networking, but I want to network with business owners and other investors and things of that nature. So my time, I want to pick as selective, more selective than just jumping into a Facebook group with the blind leading the blind kind of sort of thing, or just being cherry picked on at the end of the day, unless you have experience, okay? So this is the real deal. This is true one-on-one mentoring, okay? So you got to think about it. Your first deal, you're in Southern California, it's going to pay for itself. If you're in the Midwest, $5, $10, $15, $20,000 wholesale fee. You know, properties are $200,000 or $300,000. Maybe it's going to be 5 or 10. Maybe it's 15. Right? A couple of deals in your 8. You're rocking and rolling, and you're going to learn a superpower, and you're going to have your business built out. And we're going to help you build your business out for you. Think franchise, right? You can't even get into a franchise for $11,189, right? And I never ever do any of this stuff, right? I don't advertise pricing, but you know what? I don't give a shit. The bottom line is I know we're the greatest deal in the United States of America or even the world because, look, nobody does what we're going to do. You're better off doing this than getting an hourly rate. If I charge you an hourly rate, you wouldn't want to pay that bill. Guarantee it. For 6 months, one-on-one mentoring, right? We're going to partner up and do 6 deals, 50-50 splits. Unless we got to bring in more money, then maybe it's 70-30, 60-40. Doesn't matter. We're doing splits. You're going to make money, right? Not going to nickel and dime you to death. We don't have time for that shit. And here's the great thing. I believe we had so many promos, right? Had some promos with $4,000. You know, hey, you want to bitch about it and cry about it? You put $3,000 down. We'll finance you in-house. There's no excuse, right? You can have excuses or results. You cannot have both. That's the bottom line. I get it. We all make excuses. I make excuses. If I don't want to buy into a program, I'm making an excuse. Or you say, no, it's not for me. I get it. But if there's something that I want, I'm going after it, and I'll figure out how to get the money to pay that so I can go after and get that knowledge, because I know that knowledge is going to take me to another level. I'm going to learn another superpower. That's what this is about. This is about your legacy. It's about leaving something for you and your family. As a man, that's your duty. As a woman, maybe, maybe not. Maybe you went through a divorce or something. Maybe it's your duty now. Maybe you want to make it your duty. Or maybe you're with your husband and you're like, babe, this is what we need to do. This is what we need to do and where we got to go, right? So franchises work, but, you know, the only thing that fails is people, right? And there's franchises out there. I think there's franchises out there for even real estate, right? We buy houses, fucking a bunch of other ones. I forgot. They're like licensing / franchises, and, you know, and then UGG buys houses, Home Investors of America, right? Those are franchises, right? Some are very high and some are a little bit lower. But I've seen them. I've been through them all. I not buy into them, but I know what they're about. Some good, bad, and the ugly. Some are really restricted. Some are a little more flexible, but some don't have everything that you need. And everyone's a different model. Doesn't mean the model doesn't work. Just means that's the model, and you're locked into that model. Remember Sam Walton? Sam Walton had Ben Franklin stores. He bought into that because he goes, man, I need some structure here. I need to know where to get my products, how to set up my store, how to do my books, how to do everything, how to market. And Ben Franklin 5 and dime stores, that's what he did. Then he bought 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 30 stores. And they told him, you know what? No. He goes, I got to get this stuff cheaper. I know I can go to New York and buy this stuff cheaper. So he went to New York and he loaded up his car with all kinds of stuff that he bought that was way cheaper, pennies on the dollar, and started selling inside the Ben Franklin stores. Then the executives come in and go, hey, where'd you get this? This is not our product. Where'd you get this? How'd you get the SKU for this? You're creating SKUs for that and that and that. Those are basically the numbers when you're selling something that's running through the cash register. What is all this? You can't do that. You got to buy all the product from us. I said, I don't want to do that. I can get this stuff way cheaper in New York. So he finally said, you know what, I'm done. I'm going to do my own stores. Sold off all his 30 franchises. Came up with Walton's 5 and dime. He already learned the process, right? Because he went through, he did it once, then he did it again. He did it 30 freaking times. Don't quote me on that. Maybe it's 37 times. I don't know how many stores he had. I think it was 30-some stores or more. So he knew that. So he just duplicated that. He came out with his 5 and dime, set it up the same way, set it up like a franchise. But this now he knew where the money was at. I can control my own inventory. I can control my own pricing. I can go over here and get this. I can go over here and get this and start bringing it in and start blowing those up 5 and dime stores, right? And kicking the Ben Franklin stores' asses. Then all of a sudden he's like, boom, I got something bigger. I'm going to call this Walmart. Then he met this guy called David Glass, right? His name was David Glass. He worked for Vons or Ralph's or something, right? And he was the only guy that was automating stuff in the warehouses, kind of like what Amazon does now. They're all distribution. They don't have stores. They're all about distribution, automation. And then the internet and all that good stuff to sell their products. Over here, what do? David Glass says, Mr. Sam, Mr. Walton, let me build out your distribution for you. Okay, because you want to build these big ass fucking 150,000 square foot stores, but you need to go truck to shelf. How are we going to do that? Well, it needs to be in distribution. So when distribution comes in, it gets all inventoried in, goes in on these slots, and there's literally like, instead of a person pulling all that stuff, it was pulling like robots or whatever, right? It's pulling it out, boom, lining it all up, come out, then it'd go out to the truck. And then when it got sold, it would automatically order it. So you got systems that are just blowing this shit away so you can push gigantic volume, right? Automation, kind of like what's happening now with real estate, right? AI, technology, text, all that good stuff, right? It's part of the process, right? Apps and all that good stuff, right? SaaS or whatever, right? Software as the fuck's it called? Software as a service. Duh. Almost. There's an acronym for that too, right? KISS. Keep it stupid simple as well. But that's kind of hard to do, is keep it keep it super simple when you have technology, because there's so many moving fucking parts, right? So check this out. So once he did that, he's like, okay, now I can sustain and build these bigger stores, because now we're going truck to shelf. So when you go into Walmart, even now, and you buy some water, right? Now, there are certain things when people steal inventory, that's why you got to check it. You still need what? Human beings to fix the fucking inventory and all that shit, make sure everything's still running right. But when you buy it and it goes out the door, and once it gets depleted down, there's only 4 or 5 cases, it'll automatically order a brand new pellet from distribution. And then distribution gets the order, and then the machine pull all the shit, put it there, and then load it up into the truck, and then goes back to distribute it to the stores. That's truck to shelf. Amazon does the same shit, except for when you go and buy this stuff on your phone, boom, 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 goes to distribution, and they pick all these distribution different places. That's why they can say, hey, shipping is cheaper than going through UPS or going through the United States Post Office, which I think they're going to go bankrupt because they don't make any money and just costing a bunch of people money and a bunch of lazy fucks in there doing their shit. But it is what it is, right? So you figure, how do we fix that, right? Maybe they should be doing that. Maybe they should be more distributed. They need to automate. The government is still stuck on paper and shit, right? They got to automate all that shit, and it does take money. But guess what? They wasted so much fucking money. We could have been automated a long motherfucking time ago. Then probably Amazon wouldn't be where they're at, right? Simply because they would have been already with the technology, right? It would have been normal. But Walmart still has brick and mortar. Amazon does not. They have brick and mortar distribution, right? So you figure that's why Walmart was able to, getting back to the Sam Walton story, automation. That's why they're able to build a 150,000 square foot store. Then they're going to put on grocery. So they built these 247,000, can you imagine that? 247,000 square foot freaking store. And all these were stores within a store. Electronics is a store. Clothing is a store. Food's a store. health and beauty is the store, right? And then they get all these people in there. And then they get managers and directors and all these people and scales up, but it runs everything, right? And then when they brought in food, there's certain places in California 15 years ago, they wouldn't allow anything. It's called a super center. They wouldn't allow super centers here, right? But Walmart's smart. They started buying land all over the fucking place. Bam, bam, bam. That's okay. We'll buy that big old piece of land. It'll sit there for 15, 20, 30 years or whatever it takes until they allow us to build a big ass super center. You know, and that's just evolution, right? You're either going to survive and perish or die or thrive. You know, it all depends on where you're wanting to go, right? Don't wait to the last minute. A lot of people wait to the last minute, or they say, I'm going to do it in 2 years, or I'm going to keep on trying to do it this way and that way. I get it. I get stubborn that way too, right? I'm like, bam, 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 bam. Do we need to change? No. And sometimes you got to go with your gut because you know you got to keep on rolling until you pound through. But you got to remember, you need help. Everybody needs help. Even myself, we all do, especially if you want to scale and grow. Or you're just stuck. Sometimes you need to bounce some stuff off. So the community thing, that stuff works because you want to bounce stuff off. You got a bunch of newbies trying to figure shit out, right? That's okay too, right? I know for me, I wouldn't want to learn from a newbie. I might want to learn from the mistakes. Don't do that. Don't do that. I like that. But you got to learn the foundation part. You're going, what is right? What is wrong? How to underwrite correctly? How to find the deals? How to hunt the deals? And then how to write up those contracts, right? Where do I make more money? How do I get my closing ratios better and better? How do I work on me to become an expert in real estate, right? Real estate investing or anything, period, right? Whether you're a musician or an architect or an engineer, you know, some people just want to be an engineer and they go do the job. Some are like, no, I want to be the best at doing this. I build houses, or maybe I'm an architect and it's for bridges. But once you find your jam, then rock it. This is my jam. This is what I do. It's creative real estate investing, subject to existing financing, and going that direction. Love sharing, love teaching, and I love mentoring others and helping people because it's a great, great feeling. It's almost like that feeling of when that lady called back and said, hey, you answered your phone. Yes, we're still here. Thank you very much, Eric. I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have gotten to where I am today. Boom, solidifies. Thank you, God. And that was the whole mission after all. So let me go ahead and wrap this up with my mug right here. Boom. Have an awesome, awesome, wonderful day. I'll probably be back about 6 to rock and roll your asses again. If not, that's okay. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. Tomorrow, Sunday, I'll be back for Sunday rants and raves. And I'm going to step it up a little bit. Do a little bit of preaching, some rock and roll preaching, some what else? We got some creative real estate preaching, maybe just some life stuff in general. If I can connect with you and you connect with me, or if you just want to reach out and see if we can work together, let's do it. It is a selection process. I left that up there the whole time. It's right there. That's the one-on-one mentoring program, period. Doesn't matter how you take care of it, Visa, American Express, or MasterCard, easy peasy. It's a smaller payment. Or put some money down. I'll still honor the $3,000 down. It's usually $4,000 or $5,000. You want to make sure you have skin in the game. Put some money down. We will finance you in-house. It'll be a lot cheaper than what others charge. They charge like $1,000 to $1,500 or more. This is easy peasy, $500, $800 a month. Anybody can afford. That's your coffee and your bagel every day. Cut it out. Invest in your life. $600, $700, $800 for cigarettes if you smoke. Cut it out. Maybe it's snacks and Doritos and candy and all that stuff. Cut it out and invest in yourself instead. Right? It'll be a way better investment. I guarantee you it'll pay for itself 100 times over. Okay. All you need is one deal. Just one deal. Just one deal will help you change your life. And if you can do a deal every quarter, that's 4 deals a year. 4 deals. That could be a wholesale deal, or it could be a fix and flip, or buy and hold. Maybe it's a wholesale deal for first quarter, second quarter wholesale deal, third quarter fix and flip, fourth quarter you buy a house. Cash flow. You do it again the second year, you're probably going to want to quit your job. Guarantee it, right? Or not. Maybe you love your job. You just need to figure out where you can put all your money. That happened too, right? Business owners. Okay? So rock and roll in all that you do. Look forward to rocking and rolling with you. Everything's always transparent and always truth. Okay? So scan the QR code. Get your spot locked in. Rock and roll in all that you do. Hopefully you have an awesome, awesome one. I'll see you a little bit later. Feel free to DM me. And we will touch base and see if we're a good fit, and we'll rock and roll. Even if we're not, set up an appointment, 10, 15 minutes, chit chat. Make sure you're on time, be there, and I'll point you in the right direction, even if we don't come aboard. No harm, no foul. That's my job. That's what I signed up to do. There's a lot of people say, oh, I don't want to waste your time, or I don't waste your time with this and that, or, you know, hey, I'm going to send you a deal. I don't want to send you a deal. You know, look, it's our job. It's what we do. It's our mission. It's my mission, right? If you're in a business and it is your business, and I'm gonna expect you to, I'm not gonna say, hey, I don't want to make sure it's a waste of your time and this and that. No, that's your job. If you like it, you enjoy it, you love it, then it's called not a job, it's not a career, it's called a lifestyle. This is my lifestyle. This is what I do, right? Regardless, I wouldn't have it any other way. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Who gives a shit? I got my freedom. JOBers don't. Right? Is it harder? Of course it is. It's good, the bad, and the ugly. You're always going to go through stuff. Is the stress a little higher too? Could be. Depends on your stress level, right? But rock and roll and all that you do, I don't want to scare you away. That's okay. Don't care. The bottom line is, this is not for the weak-minded or the weak at heart. This is for people who can rock and roll and who know what the hell they want, right? Here's my story for you. Ready? Say it once, tell the world one time, and then go do it and shut the hell up. Second thing, people are going to hate you. People are not going to like you because your mind is going to start changing. You're going to start resonating at a higher frequency. That they're going to think you have an attitude, that you got a problem. It's not. It's them. They're just staying right here. So it's not your fault. You're vibrating way up here, and they're right here or lower, wherever, right? The other thing, it's not for everybody, but I'll tell you my little story. When I decided to say, you know what, I wanted to change my trajectory in my life, and even today, they're still on the table and some things that are changing and decisions that I'm making, right? That's why I'm probably deciding on the last second quarter. We're just going to focus on deals, building brokerage, and may not take on mentees, right, at the end of the day, because of the time constraints, right? Unless I find somebody who's just like me, who's willing to give it all their love and care and making sure that the program is running the way it needs to, make sure we're taking care of those people the way they need to, because I don't want anybody falling through the cracks. I don't want any whining, no bitching, no drama, nothing, right? If that's you, maybe that's you, right? Then we'll continue to do that for the second or third and fourth quarter, right? But 2026, definitely back again or not. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But that's on the table. I'm putting my my stuff on my shoulders and sharing it with you, right? So it's this. Now, this might not be you, and I don't expect you to be this, but there's something maybe you can think about before I leave. I'll leave this with you. It's awesome, right? You're going to learn skills. You're going to learn sales. You're going to learn the Amplified method and all this other good stuff, right? And creative real estate investing. But it shows how serious you are to a degree. Now, you don't have to be exactly like this, but sometimes this is my thought process. My thought process is that, hey, you go to battle, you destroy everybody on the island, and then you take that boat or whatever they have, go get your family, come back, live on the island, right? That's the goal for people, right? Or for some people, you know, you're willing to do what you need to do, willing to sacrifice what you have to sacrifice, and go through the motions until God says, boom, let you go through, right? That's how people break through. I'm going to help you break through. So once again, that is my word for you, and that is my challenge for you. Scan the QR code. Let's get locked in or not. Rock and roll in all that you do. Have an awesome Saturday, and in God we trust. Have an awesome week as well. We're cruising into the summer. This is summer rock and rollness, second quarter. That's chopping down. It's going to $19,189. Done with you, done for you, meaning done with you. We're going to do deals together. We're going to work together, making it a reciprocal program to make sure that you step up, we step up, and there's proof in the pudding and battle tested. Done for you is all your systems and your CRM and your text and your ringless voice message and marketing, getting your brand, your LLC, your company, your franchise, but not a franchise, your business, right, up and running. In the next 6-12 months, we're going to rock and roll together, and then we're going to continue to rock and roll into the horizon, okay? So without further ado, rock and roll, now what you do. Keep on rocking and rolling. Don't listen to people's bullshit. Listen to what's in your heart, what's in your gut, and keep on moving forward. Bye-bye.